Hello, welcome back to the posh job. We've done the other side, so today we're going to be concentrating on getting this side ready. It was supposed to be less wind, but it's certainly not. It's blowing a gale, so we'll see what we can get done. We'll definitely get it scarified, but seeding might have to wait, but we'll see. It usually dies down as the day goes on and we can do it, but if not, we'll just come back and do it another time. So first of all, we're going to get it scarified, but let's have a walk over first and let's see how it's come out of the winter. So it's looking absolutely fine. Some might say, what you're doing, why are you bothering? But we have to, as you know, to get rid of all this top growth so the old growth is gone and the new growth that comes through is coming through from the soil and not on top of this old stuff. And all these yellow patches, what we've deliberately done is this year, we've only put some inhibit on this, some iron. We've not fed it with anything else because I didn't want these yellow patches growing, so I've starved them so that when we reseed this or overseed it, the new seed can get a head start on these weed grasses before they start to regenerate. And the plan or the hope is that the new seed comes through amongst that weed grass and just drowns it out a little bit. Eventually it comes back, we know that, but if we can get a couple of months where these are just set back, that will be good because we get with some good stripes and stuff like we did last year. But generally it's come out of the winter fine. Bit of disease damage, bit of worm cast damage, bit of cat wee damage. We've got 3 cats and they like to wee on the edge. Weed grasses, as we knew, were going to be a problem, and the more we feed them, the more they come back. So it's just a case of managing these. But I'm really pleased with the condition of it this year as it was last year when we come out of the winter, because we've done more to it, we've had a season on it. And my favourite bit, which is over there, has come out even better than the year before. There's more quality grasses up here, I think. If you have a look at this area, really nice. So yeah, so the first job we're going to do is get out with the Kensington and get rid of all this top growth, and then we're going to scarify it. But I've got help today with Paul because Mark's had his hip done, so he's not able to do anything this year like we did last year. So it's over to us to get it done. So let's get it done. So on with the Kensington, the first run of the year. I'm cutting it on 2 on the dial. I'm not quite sure what this equates to in terms of height, but as you can see, it's removing quite a lot. And we don't really want to be cutting at this height going forward because, as we can see there, it would scalp. But for this exercise, it's perfect. Then just so it goes even shorter, I'm just cutting it in completely the opposite direction. And because the land is undulated, the one way that we went before just didn't quite take everything off. So if we go the other way, it just gets those angles it couldn't before. Okay, so that's the 2 passes of the cylinder done. You can see we've exposed the weed grasses now. A lot of annual meadow grass, a lot of it, a lot of like the thicker wood grasses as well. So what this also does is scalp him, takes the stress off the scarifier as well, so he doesn't have to work as hard. And what we're doing is when we scarify, we're not just scarifying through all the blades of grass that are above the soil. We're not concentrating on them, so when we come to pick up, we've not got as much to pick up, and we can get deeper as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get 2 scarifiers out, the Wee Bang, and Paul's got one, I don't know what make it is, Hyundai maybe, or Elliott or something. It's pretty similar to Mark's, he says, but just a different colour, I think. So I'll go in one direction, and then when I've covered a certain amount, you can then just turn that at 45 degrees and get that done as well, and then we'll get it picked up. But you can see how messy it is with weed grasses. It's probably actually more weed grasses in this lawn than you know, there isn't. So we will do our best to get it back to the standards of last year, like this, and this. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. There's only one way to find out, and that's to crack on and get the work done. So yeah, bit of a change of plan. We just decided I would scarify and Paul would follow with the mower. There wasn't that much coming up, so it was easier just to have one on the mower and one on the scarifier. But what I can tell you is that when this is in pretty deep, it pulls itself along. I was actually struggling to keep up with it on the way down. On the way back up, it was a bit slower because we're going uphill, but when I was on the way back down, you might hear Paul laughing, and that's because I was literally struggling to keep hold of it. Alright, that's the first pass done with the scarifier. So we've got enough space now, and in the end what we decided to do was, instead of scarifying it twice and then picking up, we'd do it one by one kind of scarify and mow at the same time, and then when we scarify, we're not scarifying through what we've already scarified in terms of debris and that. So it works out better this way, I think, as well. To have and this is what we did last year, and it came through a treat. So let's not change things. Let's just keep it the same. Although I say that, I don't think we've got enough fleece to fleece this year, unless we've got the old sheets knocking around somewhere. So we'll see. But still undecided about that yet. It's a bit windy today anyway to be doing the fleecing because it's blowing about everywhere. We'll make a decision on that later on. But for now, what we shall do is carry on with this second pass, and I'll just change direction slightly for like a 45 degree. It was always Gwyn Williams at Myasco who said never more at 90 degrees. I don't know why, but I've always stuck to it. I don't know if he's still with us, but he'll be in his 80s if he is. So if you were listening, Gwyn, thanks for all you did for us. So after refreshment of coffee and, wait for it, Belvita, because Mark had nothing else in, very disappointing, we cracked back on with that second pass. But on the second pass, most importantly, we did double stripes for the spraying and the seeding. Alright, so that's the scarifying done, double pass. We can see it really attack those weed grass patches, and everything just looks a lot freer. So we'll come back to it. It's still a bit windy, it's up and down, but it's just best doing it tomorrow when it's still, because we don't want to mess it up. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's Monday the 7th of April, we are back. When I turned up this morning, I thought, do you know what, when I looked at those weed grasses last night, I just thought they could do with being a bit shorter. So I've just been on again with the Kensington, and I've just dropped it down a few mil, and it's taken a lot more off. We can see how much we've taken off. If we just have a look through the fence, that is from last year, so it's rotted down, and all that, there's like two, it's like a fake peak because there's actually two there. So that just shows how much comes off. So what I'm going to do now is just, it's a bit like a solid pan, and the seed's just going to wash off. Just going to go over with the sterling with the grooming attachment in, and I'm going to go left to right this way, create some grooves so that if we get the sprinkler on, well yeah, we will get the sprinkler on if it's not possible to hand water, all the seed doesn't wash downhill, it'll hopefully wash into the grooves or not move any further. So that's the thinking anyway. In hindsight, this year perhaps doing it early, we could have done with some field compost going on top, but it's just too much work because we have to go under to the busy main road down there, and cars are flying past at 70 miles an hour. I just hate it, and I'm not doing it. Not risking my life for a few bags of field compost, so we'll soldier on without and do these grooves instead. And I'm going to go on with some slow grow before we seed. Hopefully try and knock this grass back so that gives a chance for the seed to come through before these weed grasses and other grasses start to regenerate. That's the process, that's the thinking. So in a few weeks we'll know if it's worked. So anyway, let's get on with the sterling and get this done. On we go with the Elliott sterling. Now what I didn't realise was, I could have sworn I had 5 bars last time I looked at my battery, but it turned out I only had 2, so I was hoping I would be able to get everything done, because that would have meant a quick stop for half an hour while we let it charge. But the 2 bars did this entire lawn, which was, I thought, amazing. Okay, so we've just done that verticut, and look what we've come out with. Even more scarification, all this added on. So let me show you how the results have turned out. It's kind of work what we want to do. In the wetter areas, it's created a groove like there, see it? But where it's a bit drier, it's just turned to dust, so it's just falling in on itself. But it's more at this top end that I want it, because it's more of on a hill. So down there will be fine, because it's flat, even though it's on a slight angle, it's more or less flat, whereas this is quite a drop off. So this is where I wanted it the most, and this is what we've got. So what we'll do now is we'll get on with that slow grow and mix in some H2Go as well, wetting agent, and then that's going to allow water to get through so it doesn't wash our seed off, and we go on with the sprinkler, and then we shall get on with our seed And I'm thinking just this area here where it's a bit barer, we've had deer running up and down here, they use this as a running track. Took some footage yesterday, just over where we've just been, near the compost heap. And we had a bit of leather jacket problem up there, I think. So that's perished quite a lot. But there doesn't seem to be any there now, there's no holes or anything. So we'll cover this area all the way down to the bottom, I think. And maybe along the bottom, we'll see. It's all up in the air, but whatever we do, it'll probably come good. So yeah, let's get on with that spraying. Nice, wind's just dropped a little bit as well, so that'll be a lot better. The problem today is, if you can see now, even though we did double stripes yesterday, because I've cut it again and gone left to right with the vertical, it's kind of skewed it all, so I cannot see a thing. All right from the bottom end, because we're working to against the glare, like the glare's not affecting us, it's affecting us from this side. So yeah, wish me luck. But luckily it's not really going to, if we miss a little bit or we don't quite get it right, it's not going to go up too much, because it's not, we're not putting any feed on. And then hopefully get it looking something like over there. Give it a cut before, another cylinder cut, it's thickening up nicely, it's been watered. So yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks this one will look pretty similar. Okay, so I get my big sprayer out, I think, for the first time this year. Got the H2 going there, the wetting agent just to get the water through, and that slow growing there so we can stop that grasses from coming through before the seed germinates. And then getting the seed on, the extreme seed as always. And then we got this fleece on, but I was getting a bit, what can we say, I was going to get in a huff because it just wouldn't stop blowing around and it was just not working for me. But got a few pegs in and everything was all right. And as you can see, all the way down to the bottom and just about ran out because there's my cardboard tube from the middle. So we'll just leave it there for today and that's it. Okay, so that's this video done. Scalped, scarified, overseeded and fleeced on this side, wetting agent on and a bit of slow grow to try and stop this coming through so the seed can come through first. See what happens, but I know in about a month this lawn's going to be as good as it was this time last year, like it was like this. So join us next time when we're doing something else lawn related here on Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert. Bye for now.